Today, let's take a trip through comic history. Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and a new video series, maybe just a one-off here, I don't know, where we're going to go through a little bit of comic history and have a little fun, I hope. I hope you enjoy this. I decided to, earlier this week I released a Let's Collect on Donna Troy, and it sent me down a little bit of rabbit hole in terms of comic history and how she came to be that I thought would be fun to share. At least some of this information came from a video done by Casually Comics where she breaks down the Wonder Woman Impossible Tales. The link to that video is in the description. I'm not going to repeat too much of what she said, but it does lay the basis for some of what I found here and what we're going to talk about. So let's talk about Donna Troy for just a second here before we dive into the history. Donna is obviously the original Wonder Girl, and has been in the comics, an original member of the Teen Titans. Been around forever. She has a very complicated history within the comics in terms of her origin. It's been changed numerous times. DC has often done things with her in the Titans books. At the same time, they're doing something completely different in the Wonder Woman books, which makes her origin and history even more complicated. But what I found is that her actual origin in the comics is almost just as complicated. So we're going to take a dive into the history of comics today by talking about how Wonder Girl became Donna Troy. So for that, we're going to swip through a whole bunch of stuff. Hope you enjoy this. So let's dive in. So the first time we get a Wonder Girl kind of version is Wonder Woman number 23 all the way back in 1947. Now, this is clearly meant to be a flashback story of Diana as a kid. She's the one, it's an adventure with Diana and, reliving an adventure from when she was a kid. And they do not she's in no costume. She's not referred to as Wonder Girl. It's just kind of a prototype of what would come about later. The next time we really see her as Wonder Girl comes all the way in Wonder Woman 105. So there's a long time later. Again, this is kind of listed as the secret origin of Wonder Woman, and she's not really in a costume at this point. She does have the classic ponytail at this point, and it is the first time they refer to her as Wonder Girl, even though, again, it's clearly meant to be a flashback story of Diana as a kid. So we get multiple reference to her as Wonder Girl, and we kind of start to establish the look that is going to drive the character going forward. The next book that people talk about is Wonder Woman number 123, and a lot of people claim this is actually the first appearance of Donna. Why is that? Basically, this is a book where we get to see Hippolyta and Diana looking through a photo album and reliving some stories from when Diana was younger. We get a Wonder Tot story, we get a Wonder Girl story, we get a Wonder Woman story, and basically they look at these photos and then relive the story in the course of the book. These are clearly meant to be Diana, but it establishes the foundation for what's about to come in the rest of the comics. So we're getting like some flashbacks here, we're getting the characters not directly alongside each other, but this literally clearly lays the groundwork for what comes next, which is in the start of the Impossible Tales in Wonder Woman number 124. And in this story, Steve and Wonder Woman find a hieroglyphic inside a cave that shows Hippolyta, Wonder Woman, Wonder Girl, and Wonder Tot all fighting together against a monster. Diana's like, how can this be? So her and her mom decide to splice together video footage of them fighting of Diana fighting the same monster multiple times throughout her life, as a Tot, as Wonder Woman, as Wonder Girl, and make an Impossible Tale, a movie where Diana at multiple ages is fighting the same monster. They're very clear about what they're doing. Hippolyta is also in the story, and it's all to make this like that it really could have happened, even though it couldn't have. It doesn't, the logic here doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's what they're doing. And this continues for a while. We get several impossible tales over the next few issues, and they're very clear, usually at the beginning, that that's what it is. That, hey, Hippolytus spliced together another impossible tale from video footage. But by 135, they stop doing that. They stop referencing that this is something that is Hippolytus put together, and it's just stories now of Wonder Tot, Wonder Girl, and Wonder Woman alongside each other in the comics. This is happening, again, this is 1963. We're still a couple years away from Brave and the Bold 60 and her first appearance in the Teen Titans. By 138, the characters start referring to each other as family. Previously, it had said in exposition that they were the Wonder Woman family, but now we're getting the characters. Hippolytus calling them her daughters, as in multiple. Wonder Woman's referring to them as her family. Like there's clearly some split going on, and it's not just like another version of me. This is my family, and like they're together a lot and all the time. And it's clearly they've broken from like the way the stories are being told. There's no way it could be like spliced together, interacting in a way that doesn't work story-wise, in terms of that it could just be a spliced together movie. By 147, it's very clear that Wonder Girl and Wonder Woman see themselves as not the same person, and other characters see them as different people. We get Mer Boy or Bird Boy and Mer Boy fighting over Wonder Girl, and one of them talking about how Wonder Woman would be his future sister-in-law. So clearly talking about each other differently. We get Wonder Tot calling her sister, and Diana wishing her good luck in these trials she's about to go through, that Diana in the story clearly has not gone through and doesn't like know what Wonder Girl is going to do, and is surprised by how she's approaching some of the problems. So it's clearly like they're clearly seeing each other as different people, as are the people that they're interacting with. By 151, it's pretty clear Wonder Girl sees herself as not the younger version of Diana, but as a different person, because she talks about how she's jealous of the life Wonder Woman lives, and she's looking at things Wonder Woman's doing in real, like, has done, even though she's obviously not done them yet, if she was the same person. So, and really at this point, the Impossible Tales have kind of come to an end in terms of they're not really referring to them as that anymore. And it's just Wonder Girl, Wonder Woman, as if they're completely different people. At this point, by 152, we get Wonder Girl billing on the cover as getting her own stories. This happens also in 153. And then by 155, now we have gotten to Brave and the Bold 60. In 155, this came out the same month as Brave and the Bold 60. Wonder Girl's in the story, although only briefly, but clearly referring to Diana as like a different person, as her older sister, with concern. And yeah, so her design is the same, her personality is the same as what appears in Brave and the Bold 60. But again, there's never been a clear break of when she transitioned from a younger version of Diana to Donna. Meanwhile, over in Brave and the Bold 60, we see an image of Wonder Girl leaving Themyscira, leaving Hippolyta and Wonder Woman behind, and then she just shows up, and the boys are like, she's been there all along. That she's not a new person. There's no like introduction to the team. They just show up together as a team. After we get the one previous image of her leaving the island, they just show up as a team. There's no like introduction to Wonder Girl, nothing like that. They're just on an adventure. But interesting, so this is happening in Brave and the Bold. They've started using Wonder Girl as part of the Teen Titans. They will continue to do so going forward. But back in Wonder Woman 158, Wonder Girl hasn't appeared since 155. We get a fourth wall breaking story where while Wonder Woman's on an adventure, an editor has gathered up all her side characters, all her supporting characters, and deciding which ones he's going to eliminate from the story. And Wonder Girl, Wonder Tot, the Mer and Boy and Bird Boy all get thrown in a drawer. Diana comes charging in like, you killed them. And he's like, yep, they're done. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going back to the basics. Just you, Hippolyta, and Steve. And yeah, so while one side of DC Editorial is introducing her to Brave and the Bold, the other side, and into the Teen Titans, the other side is eliminating her from the Wonder Woman books. So where does this leave us? Like, what version are we getting? Well, we get the Wonder Girl and the Teen Titans continues all the way through, but she doesn't truly get a origin or even a name until beyond Wonder Girl until we get to Teen Titans 22 all the way in 1969. This is when we get her first origin. We get her called Donna Troy for the first time. Up until this point, she's just been generic Wonder Girl. This is also when here in 22 and 23 is when she changes her look and her costume and really becomes a separate entity from that previous Wonder Girl we've seen all along. So is this the origin of Donna Troy at first appearance? I don't think so, but yeah. So meanwhile, back in Wonder Woman, we don't really get a Wonder Girl story for a very long time. We do get a Wonder Girl story in like 207, which is way, way later. But again, that's clearly meant as a flashback. It's Diana. We don't get a true Donna Troy story in Wonder Woman until like 265, all the way in 1980. It's the first time Donna gets her own kind of story in a Wonder Woman comic. So where does this leave us? What is the first appearance of Donna Troy? There is a clear linkage between Brave and the Bold 60 and the Donna Troy that exists in the comics now. That's a member of the Teen Titans. There's a clear break there. But clearly she was based on what was going on in the Wonder Woman comics before that. The Wonder Girl version that we'd been seeing. But they deleted her from the Wonder Woman comics right after she appeared in Brave and the Bold. And there's no clear break in the Wonder Woman comics of when Donna becomes, or when young Diana version of Wonder Girl becomes Donna Troy. So where does this leave us? I think it leaves us with, for the most part, Brave and the Bold 60 is always going to be considered her first appearance because it is the only true straight line linkage you can draw of when there's a break, because there's no real break in those Wonder Woman comics. But if you're a big fan of Wonder Girl, you're a big fan of Donna Troy, there's a whole bunch of books, and I didn't list them all in this video, that you can go back and get from those 123 through 155, 158, where Wonder Girl's appearing. That's really the basis for Donna Troy. When she becomes Donna Troy, no way to tell for sure, other than Brave and the Bold 60. That's kind of the official break, but just kind of a cool bit of comic history. Donna's origins always been messed up, whether in the real world or in the comic world. So I want to thank you guys for taking this trip with me. Hope you found it interesting, and we will catch you next time. Later.